Hello, everyone. This is Cheyenne Marling with BC Management and wanted to discuss business continuity compensation benchmarking to really understand your earning potential and fair market value. Now, as many of you maybe know, we have been assessing business continuity compensation data trends for 18 years. And we started this assessment because many companies were lost at what to pay business continuity professionals. They were either viewed as very IT centric or program management within the organization. And quite frankly, they were just lost at what to come up as far as their fair market value. And quite frankly, business continuity professionals, resiliency professionals, you're doing so much more than IT or program management. You're having to interact across the entire organization, champion the program, drive executive support, communicate with IT, information security, health and safety, HR. So really across the board, you're understanding the risk tolerances and you're understanding the processes and the intricacies of the organization. So this report is really, really valuable to help you and your organization assess what makes sense. So, last year, we do conduct the study at the beginning of every year. We typically publish the report around March or April. And obviously, the bulk of our participants come from the US. So we do have individual data charts in the study that highlight US or UK. But obviously, if we have a better response from another country in the next year, we are more than happy to put individual data charts for that individual country. So please, if you see this study in the next year in the future, please share with your associates, encourage response, because the better the response, the better the data, and the better you can communicate with your executives, obviously. There are so many factors that are included in our study to help assess compensation. So obviously these are the tangible skills, the geography that you're based, total work experience. So obviously many of you did something else before you were volunteered or fell into business continuity planning. So we look at your total work experience as well as your specific discipline expertise. So our study goes into over 20 different disciplines. It's not just business continuity. Some of you are doing information security, cybersecurity, enterprise risk management, supplier resiliency. There's so many different disciplines. So we've taken the time to assess your earning potential by all those different disciplines in which you have expertise in. So that's different from total work experience. Job title, there are job title quantifiers within the study that essentially define what each job title is, from entry level to planner to manager to director to regional manager to global manager to head of or chief. So it's very clearly defined within those job titles, and you can choose which one you are. We also assess by degree, and that's not just by degree, bachelor, master's, or doctorate, but also by if you have a degree specific within business continuity resiliency planning. There are more and more universities that are offering degrees specific to our profession. We also go through by certification, and there are several certifications that a lot of professionals will obtain within the industry. So it's much more than just a certification through the BCI or the DRI. There's also the ITEL, the PMI, certification. So there's several out there, and our study goes into the earning for each specific certification in which we received an appropriate response. So this is obviously a world chart, and the bulk of the response again was from the US, the UK, and Canada. So obviously the study goes into more detail specifically for the US and the UK within the report, but again, if you got a future study, share it with your associates, because the better the data, the better the report for your individual country. And looking at total work experience, this is a sample data chart of what you would see within the report. And obviously we have all respondents. There's the same chart for the US as well. We do a gender assessment, so all study respondents, and then by those who associate with being a male and those who associate with being a female. And this study goes into so much more detail than just the compensation data figures. If you look closely, you can look at the percentage of respondents. So you can see here that obviously there's more women getting into the industry than men. just by a little bit, what have you. But it's again very important to look at the percentage of respondents because it gives you a sense of where you compare to the pool of candidates and where your marketability might lie based on looking at all the different data charts. So it's much, much more than just the compensation. Here's an example of two of the disciplines. Again, we have over 20 different disciplines that are included as data charts within the report. So this is specific to just business continuity and disaster recovery IT focus, but again, it goes into much, much more. Also by job title, as I mentioned, and again, these job titles are very clearly defined within the study. So you know where to kind of benchmark yourself when you respond. And also by degree. And as I mentioned, we do have not just this table by degree, but also by degree specific to business continuity planning. The certification piece as well, this is just by numbers of certifications, but obviously the study, the report goes into much, much more detail based on the earning potential for each individual certification as well. So the credentials that also command really top earnings are some of those intangible skills, and we do have these included in the report as well. So program management skills, how long you've been managing staff, your real world experience, have you activated the program during the event? Have you built a program from scratch? Have you implemented and rolled out a training program on so everyone within the organization knows what to do when an event occurs? Do you have global business continuity planning expertise? That doesn't mean you have to go off and work in another region in the world, but do you help globally with the business continuity planning efforts? Do you have leadership skills? Do you present? Do you publish? Have you served as a leader within an association board? These are all things that do contribute to your earning potential. Soft skills, very, very important. We don't have any specific data charts to that, but I do keep it on there because it does certainly differentiate yourself from a top talent within the industry. And there are certainly skill sets that companies are looking for, those competencies that will help elevate your career. Now, as we go into some of the sample benchmarking data charts I've done for companies, you can see that what I've done is I have essentially, they gave me what they're looking for, a manager with 7 to 10 years expertise, bachelor degree, CBCP certification. And this assessment was specifically for Chicago. But I went through the report and I put in the data figure for that corresponded to the manager for all of US, regardless of gender. Again, the data point for 7 to 10 years business continuity discipline expertise, not work experience, but discipline expertise. Having a bachelor degree, again, for all respondents, not specifically for gender. And then the data point for everyone within the US who has a CBCP certification. And then I adjusted for Chicago, which was at the time when I did this, 23% above the national average. So this is just one comparison. So you could obviously at your own leisure, go through the report, go through the same exercise, look online and see what your adjusted earnings may be for your specific geography. And you can really kind of do that anywhere in the world as well, knowing that most of the bulk of the study respondents would be from the US. And here's another sample one where it's definitely more in detail. They wanted to do an assessment for someone who's at a director level, 2-level separation from executive management, 7 to 10 years business continuity, 1 to 3 DR, 11 to 15 years total work experience. They wanted to benchmark for someone who had a master's degree with a CBCP certification. This one, they went into more the management skills as well as leadership skills. And then this particular one, when I plugged in the data, adjusted for Philadelphia, which at the time was 17% above the national average. And then at that point, they wanted to go into more detail with the skills that were really more relevant for the position. So again, this is just a great exercise to do, even if you're looking to hire someone or looking to look at your own fair market value. I hope you find this is helpful. And again, when you look through the report, don't just look at the data, the dollar figure, but look at the percentage of respondents so you can understand where you fall as far as your marketability with a pool of candidates. And please, please, please go to our website. You can request a download to that compensation report, and please keep a lookout for the next one that's coming. You can sign up for our research as well. And again, share our data with others, because the better the response, the better the reports we have for the profession as a whole. Thanks so much. More than happy to answer any questions.